This is book 1 of the Dragon Master series, Rise of the Earth Dragon. So let's start the book. Chapter 1. To the Castle. Drake didn't see the king's soldiers coming. He was busy digging in the onion patch. He pulled out a fat white onion. A worm crawled on it. Drake didn't mind the worm. He was the son of a farmer. His family had been growing onions in the kingdom of Bracken forever. He would spend his life digging up onions wherever he wanted to, or not. Drake picked up worm. Drake picked up the worm. "Hello, little guy," he said. Then he put the worm back into the dirt. "Are you Drake?" "Are you Drake?" A loud voice asked behind him. Drake jumped and turned around. One of the king's soldiers rode upon the back of the horse. He had a yellow beard. His shirt has a gold dragon stone on it, the symbol of King Roland the Bold. "Yes, I'm Drake," Drake said, his voice shaking. The soldier never came to the fields, not unless a farmer was in trouble. The soldier rode up to Drake. He reached down and pulled him up on to his horse. "Hey, what are you doing with?" Drake yelled. The soldier didn't answer. Drake's mother ran out of their hut. "Wait, where are you taking my boy?" she yelled. "To King Roland," the soldier said. Drake's heart jumped a little. He had always wanted to meet the king. "But he is only 8, his mother yelled. She marched up to the horse. "The king has chosen him," the soldier said. "Chosen me for what?" Drake wondered. He knew better than to ask the soldier's question. Peasants like Drake weren't allowed to speak unless spoken to. "King Roland will take good care of him," the soldier said. Then he spurred on the horse and sped off. "Drake, do as the king says," his mother called out. Drake had never been on a horse before. He held on tight. Drake's heart jumped. Drake's heart pumped as they raced through the village. They raced over the stone bridge. Finally, they stopped in front of King Roland's castle. The soldier helped Drake climb down from the horse. He opened the castle door and gave Drake a shove. They passed paintings and statues. The people in fancy clothes. The soldier stormed behind Drake as they walked through the hills. Drake wanted to look at everything, but the soldier gave him a push whenever he slowed down. Then they came downstairs. And stopped. The soldier stopped at a door. "Where are we going?" Drake finally asked. "We're not going anywhere," the soldier said. "Good luck." Then he ran back up the stairs. "Hey, what do you mean?" Drake yelled, but he was all alone. Drake looked at a big stone door. He felt afraid, but more than that, he was curious. He pushed it open and saw a face of a giant red dragon. Drake, he didn't believe his eyes when whoosh, the dragon shot a huge fireball from his mouth. Chapter 2. The Dragonstone. Drake dove away from the door. The fireball just missed him. Vulcan, stand down! He, he heard someone yell. Drake stood up. A red-haired girl was standing by the doorway. No more fireballs, she yelled at the dragon. He had shiny red scales and a long, thick tail. Two big wings grew out of his back. Dragons aren't real, thought Drake, but he could see the dragon, and he had felt the heat from the fireball. A tall man walked past the girl. He had a long white beard. He wore a pointy hat and a dark green robe. Welcome, Drake, the man said. I am a wizard. Griffith, the king's wizard. I am Griffith, the king's wizard. Did he say wizard? Drake had so many questions. Is that a dragon? He asked. He's not just a dragon, said the girl. He's my dragon. Vulcan is the best dragon in the kingdom. Drake, meet Rory, Griffith said. Rory, please take Vulcan away and tell the others I will be here shortly. Others, Drake thought. The girl sighed. Fine, let's go, Vulcan. She led the dragon away. Then the wizard led Drake down a dark hall. Where am I? Why am I here, sir? Drake asked. Griffith didn't answer. He stopped in front of a door. Griffith pointed at his big brass lock. Sparks flew from his fingers and the lock opened. Drake's eyes grew wide. Wizard magic, he thought. He followed Griffith into a room piled high with strange things. He saw bottles filled with colorful waters and powders. Griffith picked up the wooden box. The box was carved with pictures of dragons. This is why you are here. He opened the box. Drake peered inside. A green stone as big as his head glittered in the light. This dragonstone told me you have the heart of a dragon, said the wizard. He tapped Drake's chest. It did? Drake asked. His eyes got wide. Yes, and those with hearts of a dragon become dragon masters for King Roland, Griffith said. The Dragonstone Drake had heard stories about the magical Dragonstone, but he had never believed they were real. Now all his questions came spitting out. How does the Dragonstone know I have a heart of a dragon? And how did you find me? And what is a Dragon Master? And why does King Roland want Dragon Masters? The stone is old and mysterious, Griffith said. Even I do not fully understand its magic. A Dragon Master will be able to connect with its dragons. As for the king, he is very fond of dragons, but he cannot control them. So Vulcan isn't the only dragon, Drake asked. The wizard grinned. No, he is not. Drake handed a green dragon stone on a gold chain. This is a piece of the dragon stone, he said. It will help you connect with your dragon. Drake's heart jumped. My dragon? I get a dragon? He thought. He slipped the stone into his pocket. Be careful, Drake, the wizard warned. Dragons are dangerous, and even the dragon stone can't protect you from their powers. What powers? Drake asked. The wizard led him away without another word. Chapter 3 More Dragons. Drake's mind was spinning as he left the wizard's workshop. He followed Griffith to a big underground room. There were no windows. Torches hung on the walls. Drake saw Rory and Vulcan. He also saw two more kids and two more dragons. Drake, this is Bo, Griffith said, pointing to the boy with black hair. And this is his dragon's shoe. Bo was petting his dragon's tail. The dragon had shiny blue scales, but no wings. Hi, Drake said. Nice to meet you, Drake, the boy said politely. Griffith led over to a girl with long black hair. Her dragon had white scales. A yellow band of scales circled the dragon's neck. The tips of her wings were yellow too. This is Anna and her dragon Capri, Griffith said. Drake nodded. Hi, he said. We could use somebody new around here, Anna said with a grin. You have met the other dragon masters and their dragons. It's time for you to meet your own dragon, Griffith said. Drake's heart pounded. My family will never believe this, he thought. Just this morning I was digging onions. Now I've ridden a horse, I've met a wizard, I've seen a dragonstone, and now I'm going to have my very own dragon. He and the other dragon masters followed Griffith down to another dark hallway. The dragons sleep in the caves when they're not training, Bo explained. And as they walked, Vulcan's cave is the biggest, bragged Rory. Griffith stopped in front of a small cave. Wooden bars covered the cave. Drake, meet your dragon, the wizard said. Drake peered inside. A dragon sat inside. Well, this creature kind of looks like a dragon. Drake thought. The dragon has brown scales. They weren't shining. He had two tiny wings and big green eyes. The little ears and he didn't have legs. He looked like a big snake. The only dragon-like thing about him seemed to be his long snout. Drake stepped up to the wood bars. Hi, dragon. I'm Drake. The dragon didn't move. Put on the stone, Griffith said. Drake slipped the green stone around his neck. He felt a tingly feeling all over his body. Right away, the dragon lifted his head. He stared at Drake with his big green eyes. Drake felt a strange chill. Griffith stepped forward. You must name your dragon, he said. Rory piped up. Good luck naming him. He looks boring. How about Noodlehead? Anna asked with a giggle. Bo shook his head. No, this dragon needs a good name. Drake looked carefully at the dragon. He looked at his long brown body. Worm, he said. His name is Worm. That's a good name for an earth dragon, said Griffith, opening the gate. Now Drake, ask Worm to follow you. Okay, Drake said. Worm, please follow me. Worm crawled forward. Good work, said the wizard. Keep it up. Drake, come on. Drake said, staring. Come to walk down the hallway. Worm crawled after him. He really is like a big ugly worm, Rory said. Rory, be nice, said Anna. Drake didn't say anything. Worm was like a big worm. Where are we going? He asked. To the training room, Griffith replied. Yeah, said Rory. We'll see what you and your dragon are made of. Drake felt nervous. He touched the dragon stone. How am I supposed to train a dragon? He thought. What if I fail? What if I'm not a dragon master at all? Chapter 5. Do something. The training room was one big open space. Shields and long poles hung from the wall. Buckets held water and sand. At one end of the room was a round target, straw stuffing poked out from the sides. Griffith pointed at the target. Sparks point, Griffith pointed at the target. Sparks flew out from his fingers, and a red bullseye showed up on the target. It's time for target practice, the wizard said. Me first, Rory called out. Vulcan, come! The red dragon stomped forward. Vulcan, fire! Rory yelled. The dragon's orange eyes glowed. Then two streams of fire shot out from his nose. The streams twisted together. The fire hit the bullseye. Perfect! Rory cheered. The straw burst into flames. Drake jumped back. Good aim, said Griffith. Bo, can you help put the fire out? Yes, said Bo. He looked at his dragon. Shoo, he said simply. He didn't yell like Rory. Shoo swiftly crossed the room. Did her feet even touch the ground? Drake wondered. Water, please, Shoo, Bo said. A stream of water sprayed out of the blue dragon's mouth. The fire sizzled. Water droplets danced in the air, lit up by torches. Capri, rainbow time, Anna cried. Capri glided across the room. Drake thought her white scales looked like jewels. A soft beam of light came out of Capri's mouth. It grew wider and wider. Then it hit the water droplets and made a rainbow. Wow, Drake said. Isn't she amazing? Asked Bo. Anna smiled. Rory put her hands on her hip. Now let's see what you and Worm can do, she said. Drake felt nervous. He looked at Worm. Worm, are you ready? Drake asked. Worm stared back at him. I guess that means yes, thought Drake. Okay, Worm, fire! Drake jumped back in case fire came out of Worm's mouth. But Worm just lay there. Not all dragons can shoot fire, said Bo. Drake nodded. Right. Okay, Worm, water. But Worm didn't shoot water. Ha! Rory laughed. I knew it. Worm can't do anything. Drake's cheeks grew hot with anger. He's just warming up, he said. Come on, Worm, shoot light out of your mouth. Still nothing. You call that a dragon? Rory said. Please, Worm, Drake said. Do something. Worm just blinked. Do not worry, Drake. Getting to know your dragon takes time, Griffith said. Target practice is over for today. Let's go eat. Bo grabbed Drake's elbow. I hope you're hungry, Drake. The Dragon Masters get as much food as we want, said Bo. Drake was hungry, so this news made him feel a little better. But he had failed the training. How can I be a Dragon Master if my dragon won't do anything I ask him to do? He thought, I'm only an onion farmer. I don't belong here. Chapter 6. A New Friend. There was so much food on the dining room table. Roast chicken, potatoes, carrot, bread, cheese. It was more food than Drake had seen in his life. Pass the potatoes, please, Drake said. Griffith pointed to a plate of potatoes Sparks flew from his finger as the plate floated over to Drake. He forgot all about him wanting to go home. He stabbed the potato with his fork. Is every supper like this? Drake asked Bo. Bo nodded. Yes, there is always a great deal of good food here, he said. But sometimes I miss my mother's soup. Is your home kingdom far away? Drake asked. Very far, said Bo. I come from the east of the kingdom of Emperor Song. And I come from the south, added Anna. It's warm there, not cold and damp like it is here. Well, I am proud to be from this country, Rory said. My father is a blacksmith. He makes the best horseshoes in our village. Drake missed home. He turned to Griffith. Is there a way I can let my family know I'm okay? Drake asked. The wizard nodded. You may send the note. You may send them a note. He waved to one of the servants. Please bring this boy a paper and a quill. A servant gave Drake paper, a small pot of ink and a feather. Drake's cheeks turned red. What? Rory asked. Haven't you ever seen a paper before? Drake looked down at his plate. I worked in the fields at home, he said. I never went to school. I know how to read, but I've never had papers or quills. So I don't know how to write. Rory started to say something, but Griffith gave her a hard look. Bo picked up the quill. I will write the note for you, he said. Thanks, Drake said. Then he told Bo what to write. Dear mother, I am safe, so please don't worry. Everything is new and exciting. The king is keeping me well fed. My new friend Bo helped me write this letter. Love, Drake. Drake did not say anything about the dragons. He thought it might scare his mother. The servant took the note away. Drake yawned. So where do we sleep? We have rooms in the tower, Bo said. You will be in my room. Drake smiled. Good. At least he had one new friend here. Suddenly, a soldier stormed into the room. All rise for King Roland the Bold. Chapter 7. A Strange Dream. The dragon masters jumped to their feet. King Roland swept into the room. He was a big man with red hair and a bushy beard. He walked right up to Drake. Drake was so nervous he was shaking. This is my new dragon master? He asked. Yes, your highness, Griffith said. The king frowned. He's scrawny. Drake felt like sinking into the floor. The king turned to Griffith. Explain this to me, wizard. My strongest men cannot control dragons. Why is it that these children can? It is the way of the Dragonstone, Griffith said. It is a mystery even to me. Snorted the king. Very well then. I shall leave my army in your hands. Army? Drake wondered. King Roland looked at the boy again. Do not let me down, boy, he said. Then he and the soldier left. Everyone sat back down. The king's words scared Drake. What will happen if I do let him down? Drake wondered. He had a feeling it would not be good. Bo took Drake to their room. There was a bed and a wooden chest for each of them. There was also a desk for them to share. A jug of water sat on the table. That is your bed, Bo said, pointing at Drake climbing into a bed. The moon shone through a small window. Drake looked over at Bo. He was already sleeping peacefully. Drake soon drifted off, sleeping too. All of a sudden, he was in a dark cave. The air in the cave felt warm. It smelled like deep, rich dirt. Well, the onions grew. Green eyes glowed in the darkness. Worm was in the cave, and behind him were other dragons. They all had the same brown scales and green eyes. Boom! A loud explosion shook the cave. Smoke filled the air. Worm let out a cry. The dragon slithered across the cave looking for a way out. Drake woke up in his bed, dripping sweat. That was some nightmare, he thought. It felt so real. Chapter 8, Flying Practice. After breakfast the next morning, Drake went underground with Griffith and the other dragon masters. Why do we train all the way down here? Drake asked as they walked. Don't you know, Rory said. We're a secret. No one knows that dragons are here. No one knows that the stone is real. And no one knows about us. Drake looked at the wizard. It is true, Griffith said. The king does not want others to know about the dragons because he is building a dragon army. Drake asked the king's business. No, Drake asked, that is the king's business, not ours, said Griffin. He opened the door to a hallway of the dragon caves. Collect your dragons. We are going outside today. Hooray! Yelled Anna, Rory, and Bo. But won't someone see us if we go outside? No, we will be well hidden in the Valley of Clouds, said Anna. Hurry, go get warm. Drake ran through the winding hallway to Worm's cave. Worm raised his head at him. It reminded Drake of his nightmare. He shivered. Come on, Worm. We are going outside, Drake said. As he opened the gate, Worm crawled out of his cave. Griffith led them all down to a dark tunnel. The tunnel opened up into a bright field of grass. Tall hills rose up on all sides. The sun, cheered Anna. She twirled around. Drake looked up at the sun and smiled. So what do we do out here? He asked. Anna grinned. We fly, she said. He patted Capri on her head. Show him, girl. Capri raised her long neck and flew straight up. She looped and swirled in the air. Drake watched her shading in the sky from the sun. He had never seen anything like it. Wait till you see Vulcan fly, Rory said. Vulcan, circle. Vulcan flapped his big red wings. He flew up into the sky and circled the field. Wow, Drake said. He looked over at Bo. Your dragon doesn't have wings, but can she fly too? He asked. Bo nodded. She does not need wings. He said, Shoo, please fly. Shoo floated up of the grass. It's like she's swimming through the air, Drake said. Yes, said Bo. How Shoo flies is very much like how one swims. She can ride the winds. Drake looked at Worm. His tiny wings did not look like they could lift him. What about you, Worm? He asked. Can you fly too? Worm just stared at Drake. He didn't flap his wings. He didn't even move. It's okay, Drake said. He thought of how scared Worm had been in the nightmare. He can watch the others. We can watch the others. Drake sat on the grass. He put a hand on Worm's back. The dragon moved a little closer to him. Suddenly, the dragon's stone felt warm. Drake's skin on Drake's skin. He looked down. It was glowing. Drake looked around. Griffith was standing over with the other dragon masters. None of the stones were glowing. Why is my stone glowing? He wondered. Am I doing something wrong? Drake quickly tucked the dragon stone into his shirt. Then he went back to watching the others fly across the sky. Chapter 9 Whispers. And that is how to shine a dragon's scales, Griffith was saying later that week. Griffith remembers brushing once, Griffith said later that week. Remember brushing one scale at a time. No shortcuts, Rory sighed. When can we go out again? Drake was glad Rory had asked. It has been 3 days since we've been stuck in the training room for 3 days. Drake liked learning about dragons, but he was used to being outside all day, every day, on the field back home. He was starting to forget how the sun looked like. The wizard patted a tall pile of books on his desk. There is much for you to learn. First, we'll go out again soon, Rory. The soldier came in and handed something to Griffith. The wizard smiled. Drake, it is a letter for you. Read it aloud, Anna said. Drake quickly nodded to Griffith. Dear Drake, we are glad you are safe. We still don't know why the king brought you there. Can you tell us? Please keep writing so we won't worry. And thank you to your friend Bo for helping us write this letter to us. Love, your mother. Your mother sounds nice, Bo said. Drake's eyes started to burn. He held back his tears. Thanks, he said. Drake let the other dragon masters know he had. May I send another letter about the dragons? Griffith, you must not say anything about the dragons, Griffith said. The king's secret must be kept. The wizard stood up. Now it's time to shine your dragon scales. Let us go. Anna, as they walked, they were leaving the training room. Rory ran over to Anna. She started whispering to her. Drake kept an eye on Rory as they walked towards the dragon caves. She has a sneaky look on her face, he thought. What are she and Anna up to? Chapter 10 Worm's Story. Drake stepped inside Worm's dark cave. Worm opened one eye. I need to shine your scales, Drake said. He was carrying a brush, a basket, and towels. Drake looked at Worm's brown scales. They're not shiny, he said, but I'll clean them anyway. Drake was still getting used to being around Worm. The dragon's head was as big as Drake. Worm could swallow Drake up in one gulp if he wanted to, but something about Worm made Drake feel peaceful. Drake gently brushed one of Worm's scales. The big dragon made a low sound in his throat. Worm smiled and closed his eyes. You like that? Drake asked. Worm made another purring sound. Good. He cleaned Worm's scales one at a time. I kind of miss the onion fields back home, Drake said to his dragon. It was hard work, but I loved being outside. Drake started to clean Worm's head. I really miss my family, Drake said. He scratched behind Worm's ear, like he did with his cat back home. Then he felt his hand starting to tingle. He tried to take his hand off Worm, but he couldn't. It was stuck. Drake, Drake's eyes widened. He looked at Worm. The dragon was staring hard at him. Pictures popped up into Drake's head. He saw caves from the nightmare. He saw the explosion again. Before Drake had woken up, this time pictures kept coming. Worm was trying to get out of the cave, but the other dragons were in the way. Then the soldiers rushed into the cave. Each soldier's shirt had a gold dragon sewn on it. The king's soldiers, Drake asked. The soldier wrapped Worm in chains. They dragged him out of the cave. Awee! Drake could hear Worm's cry. Then his hand stopped tingling. The pictures left his head. Drake looked at Worm. Did that really happen? Did the king's men take you away from your family just like they took me from mine? Worm nodded. I'm so sorry, Drake said. He threw his arms around Worm's neck. Worm closed his eyes. All his life, Drake was looking up to King Roland. But why would the king's men treat Worm like a prisoner? Drake wondered. Maybe he isn't such a good king after all. Chapter 11. A Noise in the Night. Good job cleaning Worm's scales, Drake said. Griffith said, walking into the cave. Worm wasn't going to say anything. Drake wasn't going to say anything about Worm had shown. Not yet, but he had a question for Griffith. How did the dragons get here? He asked. The king's soldiers searched far and wide, Griffith replied. It's not easy to find a dragon. Most people have never seen one, but the king's men did not give up. His soldiers were able to catch these four. But did the dragons want to come here? Drake asked. The king does not always think about what the dragons want, the Griffith said darkly. Now come, it's time for supper. After they ate, Bo and Drake went to their room. Bo was teaching him how to write alphabets. Bo drew a capital D and a lowercase d. See how Drake... See, Bo said, the big D looks like Vulcan with his big belly. He drew a picture of the paper like Vulcan, Drake said with a laugh. Bo laughed too. The moonlight glinted off Bo's dragonstone. It reminded Drake of something he'd wanted to ask Bo about. Does your dragonstone ever glow? Drake asked. Bo shook his head. No, he said. Why do you ask? It just... I thought I saw mine glow once, Drake said. It was when I was with Worm. That's interesting, Bo said. You should tell Griffith. Drake nodded. Tomorrow, he said. Drake wrote rows of letter D before he went to sleep. He thought he would dream of D's or maybe a worm again. But just after he climbed into bed, thunk, Drake heard a loud voice. He sat up and saw two figures standing by Bo's bed. Chapter 12, A Sneaky Plan. The two figures turned around. It was Roni and Anna. What do you want? Drake asked. Go back to sleep, Rory snapped. Why should I? He snapped back. Drake was tired of Rory being so bossy. Yeah, why should he? Bo said. And why are you two here? Anna spoke up. We are going to bring our dragons outside while the rest of the castle is asleep. Do you guys want to come? You can bring Worm and Chew. That is a bad idea, Bo said. No, it's not, Rory said. Well, Dragon Masters, we should be able to take our dragons out whenever we want to. You have a point, Drake agreed, and I do think Worm would like to go outside again. Bo looked worried. What if Griffith finds out? He asked. What if the king finds out? They won't find out, Rory said. So long as neither of you say anything. She looked them both in their eyes. Well, come on then, said Anna. Blake slipped on his shoes. He followed the others down the hallway. The door to Griffith's room was open. He was snoring loudly. Zzz. Rory put a finger on her lips. Shh. As they tiptoed past the door, Drake peeked up inside. The wizard's long beard flew up every time he snored. The Dragon Masters walked down the stairs. The front guard in the front of the training room was asleep too. That's Simon, Rory whispered. He always falls asleep. They tiptoed past Simon and into the training room. The torches were not lit, so the room was black. Rory lit a candle. Then she passed the candle to each of them. Now let's get the dragons, she said, still whispering. Then she reached to Vulcan's cave first. Rory opened the gate. Wake up, Vulcan, she said. We're going outside. Grumbling, Vulcan got to his feet. Anna and Bo woke up their dragons. Drake went to Worm's cave. Worm, do you want to go outside? Drake asked. Worm lifted his head. His eyes shot wide open. He stared at Drake. He got a strange feeling. Come on, Worm, Drake said, but Worm didn't move. He just stared at Drake. Is he trying to tell me something? Drake wondered. Rory, Anna, and Bo walked up to Worm's cave. Is Worm coming? Rory asked. Suddenly, Drake froze. He heard words in his head. Do not go into the tunnel. Chapter 13, Trouble in the Tunnel. Did Worm just speak to me through his thoughts? Drake did not know what to think, but he had a feeling those words of warning had come from Worm. Drake, what's the matter? Anna asked. I'm not sure, he said. What would they think if I told them I just heard Worm's voice in his head? Worm doesn't want to go. Fine, stay here and be a big chicken, Rory snapped. I didn't say I was staying, Drake shot back. I'll come along without Worm. As soon as he said that, Worm crawled out of his cave. Look, he's coming with us. Anna said. Drake didn't hear any more words in his head. Maybe Worm changed his mind. Rory led Vulcan forward. Let's get moving, they said. They headed into the long tunnel that led outside. The torches of the wall were lit, and their candles weren't doing much to light things up. Capri, can you light the way? Anna said, but before she could give the command, Rory cried, look out! Drake craned his neck to look around. The dragon in front of him, he saw it was a glowing red orb floated around them. It grew bigger and bigger as it got closer. That looks like wizard magic, Anna cried. But it's not Griffith's magic, said Bo. It feels scary. Just then Vulcan let out a roar. His big tail thrashed back and forth. Calm down, Vulcan, Rory yelled, but her dragon was very upset. Whack, whack. Vulcan's tail blanked against the sides of the tunnel. His big body slammed against the walls. Capri and Sue cried out. They both tried to turn back. Only Worm stayed calm. The tunnel began to shake. Dirt fell from the walls. The dragon masters looked at one another. Run, Drake yelled, but it was too late. The walls caved in around them. Chapter 14. Trapped. Drake ducked as the dirt rained down. He closed his eyes. Then the shaking stopped. Drake opened his eyes. All the candles had gone out. He looked behind him in the darkness. Worm, are you all right? Worm looked fine. In fact, he didn't have any dust on him. Everybody else was pretty dusty. Is everybody okay? Drake asked. Anna was on the ground. Bo helped her up. I'm fine, she said. That was scary though. Rory walked over. I'm sorry, she said. I don't know why that weird ball of light made Vulcan freak out. Drake looked around. Thankfully, it's gone now. We should get back, Bo said nervously. Drake looked past Worm. The tunnel was blocked with rocks and dirt. I don't think we can, Drake said. The way outside is blocked too, Rory said. We're trapped, said Bo. He turned pale. Anna's dragon made a sad sound. It's okay, Capri. Can you give us some light, please? Capri opened her mouth and a beautiful white ball of light came out. The light hung in the air. Vulcan is strong, Rory said. He should be able to push the rocks. Vulcan was calmer now that the red orb was gone. He pushed the rock wall, but the rocks didn't budge. Come on, Vulcan, Rory urged him, but Vulcan couldn't break through. Bo spoke up. I could have Sue blast through the rocks with water. Anna frowned. What if it doesn't work? The tunnel will be filled with water. Everybody was quiet. They knew Anna was right. They were stuck. Drake looked at Worm. Sorry I got you into this, he whispered. Then Worm's green eyes started to glow. A green light swept from the top of Worm's head to the end of his tail. Drake jumped back. Worm, he felt something warm on his chest. He looked down to see his dragonstone was glowing. Too. Anna, Rory and Bo's mouth dropped open. They stared at Worm and Drake. Worm's green glow filled the tunnel. Drake, it looks like your dragon is going to explode, Rory yelled. Worm surprised. Worm didn't explode. Instead, the dragons closed their eyes. The big rocks blocking the tunnel began to shake. What's happening? Bo yelled. Is Worm doing that? Asked Anna. I think, I think he's using the power of his mind, Drake said. He wasn't sure how he knew, but he just did. Rory, Anna, and Bo stepped back. The rocks kept shaking. Then, poof! The rocks broke up into tiny pieces. Rocks the dust filled the air. Drake coughed, waving the dust away and with his hands. All of the fallen rocks were gone. The tunnel was clear again. Drake hugged Worm. You did it, Worm. We should get out of here before Vulcan sneezes from all this dust, said Rory. The last time he sneezed, he turned my bread into toast, Rory's right, said Bo. Let's get out of here. Drake stepped to the pile of rubble and found himself face to face with Griffith. Simon the guard stood behind Griffith. Griffith, you are in big trouble, the wizard said. The whole castle is awake, and King Roland is furious. Chapter 16. Just the beginning. The group walked back through the tunnel in silence. The 6 of the king's guards were waiting for them in the training room. One stepped forward, and as soon as they entered the room, King Roland wants a report. He barked. The dragon masters all looked at Griffith. He cleared his throat. Please tell King Roland that everything is fine. The dragons tried to escape, but the dragon masters stopped them. But Drake started to speak. Something about Griffith told him to stay quiet. The soldier nodded to Griffith. Very well, he said. Then the soldier and Simon left. Drake turned to Griffith. But the dragons didn't do anything wrong, he said. Rory stepped forward. Drake's right. This was my fault. I wanted to take the dragons outside, she said. She turned to the dragon masters. I'm sorry. That was a bad idea. Agreed, Griffith said. Now tell me, how did you all get out of the collapsed tunnel? Worm saved us, Rory cried. Anna nodded. He glowed all green and it was amazing and turned the rocks to dust, Bo added. The wizard's eyes lit up. That's excellent. He grabbed Drake's shoulder. I knew you could bring it out of him, Drake. Our dragons have a great power, Griffith said. Worm has been hiding his power until now. He was glowing because he was using it. Is that why my dragon stone glow too? Drake asked. No, the stone glows when you have a strong link with your dragon, Griffith said. The link is strong when you and your dragon can read each other's thoughts. It will happen with the other dragon masters too in time. Drake remembered the words he had heard in Worm's head. Thank you, Worm, he said, stroking him. You really saved us today. Wait, we forgot to tell you about the red ball of light, Rory piped up. That's what scared Vulcan when it flew into the tunnel. He panicked and made the tunnel collapse. A cloud came over Griffith's face. Are you sure that was a red ball of light? All 4 dragon masters nodded. This is serious, Griffith said. Danger may be heading our way. Danger, boss? Griffith patted Bo's head. For now, we are safe. Let us all get some sleep. As Drake led Worm back into his cave, he felt a strong connection to his dragon. He wasn't going back to the onion fields. This was his life now. A life full of dragon and magic and danger. He was now a dragon master. Book 1 of Dragon Masters is complete. The next book is Saving the Sun Dragon by Tracy West.